Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing a breast cancer awareness month design that I've been promising you guys. I do know a few people that have won over this disease, and I'm so happy for that. We are starting off by stripping off our previous design and putting soft gel tips by Gelish, and applying this Pinkterest by Sally Hensen's Miracle Gel. This is regular polish, but it is the nice perfect pink shade to create this design. And I'm applying two nice coats on this, one thin one thick one. The brush strokes do remain on this, so just be aware, and I'm letting this fully cure between the layers. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in again with me. I really appreciate your presence. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, like, hit that notification bell for future videos. So this design, I definitely wanted to do something different. I did something a little bit more demure last year, just plain white French tips and some pink ribbons. This year, I wanted to go super crazy with my rhinestones because it's been a few designs since I've been able to play with my rhinestones, and you all know I love to put a lot of bling in my designs. So I am going to top off this nail polish with matte gel polish by Gelish. I definitely wanted the contrast between the matte and the rhinestone shine, and also I think it gave it kind of like a nice satin look. So we're just going to be applying a layer of this onto each nail, and it will cure looking kind of shiny. But rest assured, once you nail cleanse the sticky layer off this, you'll be able to see that matte not matte shine through, but matte show through. And you'll see what difference it'll make. So I'm definitely happy that I went this way. So I'm just going in with some nail cleanser by Gelish, and I'm taking a lint-free wipe to it and making sure I just clean off every bit of that sticky layer. As you can see, as it's drying, it's turning super matte. I love this gel polish. So this week I'm going to be doing the breast cancer awareness design, and then next week I'll be doing my last design for the seasonal Halloweeny type design. So I hope you stick with me and check out my next design. So here I'm just taking some gummy jelly and Shine E by ENail Couture, my favorite adhesives for rhinestones. It really gets on there, and I figured I'm just gonna go all out with these large pieces because I don't use pink that often in my designs. So I might as well use up all these rhinestones, these pink rhinestones that I have. Now this was an accidental purchase. So I wanted to find like a ruby color for my July nail design, and rubies tend to kind of have like a pink hue to it. So I thought that these would look more close to a ruby. And when I got them, I thought, oh man, these are a little too pink for me. So I ended up getting a darker or like a red color, as you saw in my July design. So we're just going to take these pieces and fill them in with this gummy jelly. And then we're going to flank all of this with some caviar beads. I have 3 sizes for the large stones. We're going to use the large caviar beads, and for my index and ring finger, it's a medium size, so I'll be using the medium size caviar beads. And then for my pinky, it's going to be the smaller rhinestones on there, so I'm going to be using the small caviar beads. And then I'm going to be doing some Pixie Crystals on my middle finger in the shape of a ribbon. So I'm really excited to do this. It's like a big pow to your face that it's pink. I'm here. We've got the ribbon going on, and it's just gonna exude breast cancer awareness. Just to mention again, I'm using rose gold caviar beads. I bought them in a set that I have used previously before. It comes with rose gold, yellow gold, and silver. And today, to keep with the pink theme, I'm using the rose gold caviar beads. So these are starting to become my new best friend. I love using them to flank the rhinestone placements because it helps it stay where it is. And then also it fills in the gaps where needed because these are flat back rhinestones and not all nails are flat. So I'll add some gummy jelly underneath these gaps and then close them in there with the caviar beads. So this ended up becoming a very intricate design where here it's like basically two large chunky rhinestones. And I'm just going to follow suit with the rest of the nails. We're going to be placing down the medium-sized rhinestones here. And I'm picking random geometry to create these designs. I don't always like to have the same old, so on my previous designs, I'll just use all circular rhinestones and make designs based off that. But I always find it very interesting to switch it up and here in this case use some squares and some eye-shaped. I don't know the name of those. And then I'm going to be using the medium-sized caviar beads. Just want to make sure that these are in a straight line. That's probably the most difficult out of these designs today. Just making sure that the rhinestone placements are in line. The other challenge is to not get this gummy jelly where I don't need it because as we saw before, we use the matte top coat to cover the whole nail. And if you allow this gummy jelly to go all over the place, you're going to be seeing spots of shining gel polish that is not going to look great against the matte finish. The other challenge that I find is just when it comes to these square pieces, just making sure that these lines are nice and crisp. Sometimes it'll work out perfectly where you'll have a certain shaped rhinestone and then you're able to use an even amount of caviar beads to cover the whole perimeter. Other times you'll have a size that's a bit odd to where you can't fit a full bead, so you'll be able to see that kind of jut out and not be in line with the others. Another challenge that I found was keeping these beads away from underneath the gap. So I don't know if it's like the sticky pull that the gummy jelly has on the caviar beads, but they were tending to go underneath this gap, and I needed to pull it out so that we make a nice solid outline around these rhinestones. And finally, the caviar placement is easy, but sometimes it'll get stuck on my detail brush, and just trying to separate, smooth out, and spread out these caviar beads was a little pain. But we are curing in between, making sure that all of that is in place. You may have to double cure. I think my longest cure button on my lamp, my Gelish LED lamp, is 60 seconds. Or is it 30? Either way, sometimes with rhinestones, because it's not transparent, you'll have to like turn your fingers a little sideways so that UV light gets in underneath the gaps there. Want to make sure you have a really good seal on it. I thought these were really cute. They're the 3 flower shaped rhinestones that I had in this packet. Um, I couldn't think of anything I would ever do that would require a flower shaped rhinestone, so I decided to use it in this design for you today. And the challenge here is just trying to place these caviar beads around these shapes. These shapes are just so different from the regular square and oval that it's hard to get these caviar beads in line and fit into each crevice, as you see that I'm doing here. And again, I love this matte finish on underneath the rhinestones because it's such a vibrant color, this pink. So it kind of is a bold statement as far as the nail goes, but it's not what's being featured. What's being featured are the rhinestones. So it's a nice setup. And I'm just doing the other side. And in between these flowers, I put a little circular rhinestone in there just to break it up. And there was just so many ways I could have configured these rhinestones. You can kind of get lost in the process if you think too much about what you're trying to do with the designs, and I try not to take something that I like to do and beat it to death where I'm scared to put out something because I don't know what it's going to look like. So I just tried to keep it short and simple. Just use rhinestones that I normally wouldn't use. So that was the whole idea behind that. For my pinky nail, I'm again just taking different shape pieces to break up the design. And this design here kind of goes along with the thumbnail. You want to be careful with how much gummy jelly you put on there because, you know, as you see, I have not cured this yet and I'm trying to fill in the gaps, and it'll move around. So you just got to be careful knowing that, because you could spend all day trying to put these rhinestones in line, and then add your beads and it'll just keep moving. So you just have to have a lot of patience with it. And I actually like this pinky nail. It's such a tiny nail estate, as they say. But even then, I fit some decently sized rhinestones, and I'm using the smaller caviar beads, and it's just looking like an earring right now. Um, I used to love wearing all that stuff, and I don't know why I don't anymore. It just, unfortunately, I think I've lost a lot of jewelry in my life. It's very disappointing. But there was a move that I made a few years back, and the box that I had my jewelry in was in there, and I cannot find it at all. So it's unfortunate. Moving on to the last nail we are doing here, the Pixie Crystals. I'm just taking some gummy jelly and drawing up a ribbon. And once I lay down the shape of it, I'm going to go back in and make that line thicker. And we're going to be applying the shiny on top of it. And you want to be mindful with how much shiny that you put on there, especially if you're trying to keep a shape like this, because if you put too much, it'll start Oh, what is it? Man, I cannot find the word, but it'll start spilling over your design and it'll smudge it up. So just be very limiting with this shiny on top of the gummy jelly. I'm just going in, making sure everything is perfect, getting some shiny. And you can kind of see here as I'm placing it down, and we're going to be very light, gentle, and liberal on this shiny. And now I'm sprinkling the Pixie Crystals. You don't need much, just enough to cover. And you don't want to touch anything right now. We're going to be just tapping the excess off. And then I'm going to go in with my ball tool and just push the crystals in place. You just want to be careful that whatever it is we're doing here, that we don't want to contaminate the matte spaces. We just want to adhere to the gummy jelly that we have placed down on it. After giving this a cure, I'm just going to nail cleanse each nail. Just make those rhinestones shine just a little bit more. Can't do that with the Pixie crystal so much because it'll snag the lint-free wipe. And then I'm going to take some Nourish Cuticle Oil by Gelish. And we're going to be applying this to each finger. And now I'm rubbing this in. Be careful not to hit the matte coat areas because it'll make it look shiny because of the oil. So here I'm just taking some nail cleanser and making sure I wipe off any cuticle oil that went on the matte areas. And this takes a little bit longer than I normally do putting cuticle oil on, but this is the best way to do it to make sure that your nails are matte. You need to clean off all that excess on there. And here is the end result. My breast cancer awareness nail design. It's so super pretty. I love the color and I love the rhinestones with the caviar beads flanking the sides of it. And let's take a closer look because you'll get to see that pixie crystal nail in the shape of the breast cancer awareness ribbon. It's so super cute. The middle finger is more like the accent nail, even though it's a lot more subtle than the other nails. But there you have it. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. I'm so glad you have come join me to watch this design. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time when I do my Caracas design for the Day of the Dead Festival. I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.